Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and it's time for another face-off. And this time we have Season 12 of Classic Who versus Series 12 of Modern Who. We have two legendary doctors, though legendary for very different reasons, going head-to-head, and the poll results weren't that surprising, honestly, with 149 votes. Give me a moment. I'll get there. Oh, my face is turning red, I'm sure. Well, I'm tired now. Okay. I'm starting to get worried. Oh, I'm gonna get something to drink. Excuse me. Okay. Oh God, I bet my face is so red. Okay. Well, and what may be a huge surprise to a lot of people, this is the most lopsided one we've had yet. We've had some of them that have been pretty lopsided, but this one takes the cake thus far with a whopping, I'm so tired now, a whopping 97% of the vote voting for Classic Season 12, Tom Baker's first season, and of course the first season of the legendary Hinchcliffe era. And some of us, I'm sure some of you watching are going, only 97%? And I feel you on that. Yeah, a whopping 97%, with 3% voting for Series 12 of Modern Who, and 1% saying that they can't decide, it's a tie, for a total somehow of 101%. I don't quite know how that works, but that's what the numbers say. So 97% voting for Classic Who, 3% voting for Whitaker's second season of Modern Who. Whew. Come on, Prowl. Don't laugh like that again. You'll die. Come on. Hold it in. And 1% calling it a tie. Now, this one was a close one for me. I have to say that because I don't want the people on Twitter to get mad at me. I don't want to get canceled. So I have to say it was a very close one because they're both legendary doctors in their own right for drastically very different reasons. But I had to admit that for me, classic Doctor Who did squeak by a little due to its better Doctor, better companions, better story writing, better directing, etc., etc., etc. I mean, you have Robot, which I love. It's my favorite post-regeneration story, if not objectively the best. I mean, it's not objectively the best. I will say that, but it's my personal favorite. You have the Ark in Space, which is one of my earliest memories of Doctor Who, one of the first Doctor Who stories I ever saw. So that one, aside from just objectively being good, has a nostalgic spot in my heart. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. Whew. Centauran Experiment is really good. It's a two-parter that knows it needs to be a two-parter and nothing more. Great location filming. Genesis is a legendary classic, and Revenge is probably the most underrated story in all of classic Doctor Who. A good 70s Cybermen story. The only one we got in the 70s. Ooh. What happened? He died laughing. The Joker would be proud. Series 12. Now, to be fair, I think Series 12 is Whittaker's best series and the most consistently good series we've had since Series 5. I actually enjoy most of Series 12. Although most of the time it's in spite of Whittaker, not because of her. Unlike Capaldi, who could elevate bad stories, Whittaker has, like, good stories she's in that she's one of the worst things about. Like, I enjoy Spyfall. Part 1's better than Part 2, but it's good. I think the Tesla episode's phenomenally good. Fugitive of the Dune is really good and even holds up on rewatch. Can You Hear Me is really good. Haunting of Villa Diodati is really good. Ascension of the Cybermen is good. Really, it's just... What exhausts you these days? Laughing too much. My chest hurts. My chest actually hurts. The Whittaker era screwing me over again. How did he die? The Whittaker era. It did it. He was laughing so hard it killed him. Really, it's just 3 episodes that really hurt this one. You have Orphan 55, which is not very good. It has some good stuff in it, but it's not very good. You had Praxis. I think Orphan 55 was Series 12, wasn't it? Was it Series 11, Series 12? Whichever. Praxis is very boring. And then Timeless Children is garbage. Plain and simple garbage. For a multitude of reasons that I've discussed before. So Season 12 squeaks by with the wind. Let's see what you guys had to say here. I wonder how the comments are going to go. The Gertman says, you could put most seasons against classic Season 12 and they'd fail. That's just how it be. That being said, some rough stuff in modern Series 12. Simon, who has been a supporter of the channel for a while and has sent several things to the P.O. Box, says, if this is anything below 100% Season 12, then certain people must have a classic and modern mix-up. Jake says, I actually think Series 12 is quite decent, but obviously Season 12 wins by a country mile, which I agree. That's actually about how I feel about it. Foggy D says, who in their right mind would pick Benny over touch these 2 wires together? Season 12 begins with an amusing contrast of plunking Tom in the middle of a Pertwee story, and then just knocks out masterpiece after masterpiece. Series 12 also starts well, but like its other 2 best stories, Fugitive and Diodati, Spyfall relies on a huge twist halfway through that never really have the same impact on rewatch. Orphan 55 has potential in the first third, then goes spectacularly off the rails. And speaking of which, what's the deal with the train and Night of Terror? I don't rate Fingers in the Ears as highly as you do, while Praxis could have been okay, though not still great. Without the lecture, if we hadn't had a stinker of an Echo pre-cheat episode just a few weeks prior. Exactly. Then there's the 2-part finale. Oh boy, what a continuity. I don't know why I say that wrong. Continuity wrecking exposition dump Revenge is unquestionably a superior Cyberman story, so I'll leave it at that for the purposes of this comparison. Slight uptick if you include the following Dalek New Year special as part of the series, but not enough to prevent another easy vote for Classic. Philip says the Fourth Doctor explodes onto our screens with the earth-shattering force of a hydrogen bomb in Season 12. Series 12 just blows. That's funny. Problem Being says, one is one of the all-time greatest seasons of all time. The other is a bloody joke. I'll leave it to your imagination. To which I reply, but how will I ever know which is which? He gives, oh, take a wild guess. Opt for the one that's actually Doctor Who. But I'm like, but both are technically Doctor Who. JLBWHO, who is one of my patrons, says, okay, I'm going to go with Classic Who. It feels cruel by how obvious this one is. Kenneth Raymond Moore says, it's insane that 4% of people don't know the correct answer. Hey, it went down to only 3%. Fellow Who-tuber TARDIS Spider says, did I remember this time? 4th Doctor's first season versus 13th Doctor's second season series. Yes, you did. Tom Baker's first season is one of the special series in all of the history of Doctor Who. In comparison, all of the Whittaker era are just short of this standard. He goes trying to be nice. Kind of like the same way I am here. Sid Hill Bruiser Music says, Season 12 has Genesis and Ark, both genuine classics. Centauran Experiment, which is a brilliant two-parter. Robot and Revenge, which are totally fine stories, if not great. Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember what Series 12 is. Is that the one with Bill and Nardole? No. If so, it has some great stuff, but also some really bad I really can't remember. And then somebody else says, it's the Jodie. And then another, Space 1999 says that, and XO8 Chill says it's Jodie's season. And then he lists all the episodes. Problem being, because there is no Series 12. It was all a terrible hoax. And I said, the fact you aren't sure what Series 12 is speaks volumes about the show at this point. And Problem Being says, nah, I'm just force removing it from my memory banks. And the Gertner says, I don't hate the Chibnall era, but it's lacking in a lot of areas in the opposite ways to how the Moffat run was bad. Speaking of XO8 Chill, he says, Tom Baker being a joy versus the timeless flop. Genesis of the Daleks versus Just Revolution. Revenge of the Cybermen beats Ascension of the Cybermen, and the Timeless Children completely overshadows Ashard and the Cybermen with the Master. And Bananas Are Good, one of my favorite names, says, ha 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 ha, 3% for modern series as I typed this, and that's what it ended up being. Space 1999 says the easiest decision so far. And to which XO8 Chill says, I'm not so sure. Season 11 was a ridiculously easy pick too. Paul Bailey, a fellow Who-tuber, says, oh dear, I already know the results to this. Season 12 is definitely going to trash Series 12. I mean, Tom Baker's first full season as a Doctor versus Jodie Whittaker's second season as the Doctor. Season 12 all the way. This season is a masterpiece all the through Robot, the Ark in Space, the Centauran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, Revenge of the Cybermen. Hands the top 3 seasons of Doctor Who of all time. Bobby Freckles says, well, that was a tough one. Heath Bradshaw says, gee, very close with a laughing emoji. Phantom Sidious says, easy classic season 12. Excuse me. That was one of the golden ages for Classic Who. Modern Series 12 is no competition. Interesting how Classic Who had several golden ages up to its 12th season, and Modern Who's only golden age was the Russell era. And its 12th season is in its worst periods. Colin Coney, one of my top tier patrons, says there are no words. Well, there are plenty of words. Most of them 4-letter words. I take that back. There are actually only a few words. They're just said many times. Fadai Corey says, undoubtedly. Henry Andrews says, oh, come on. To which Problem Being commented, the most British understatement ever. Perfectly pitched, sir. Sure. Perfectly pitched, sir. With Henry responding with some laughing emojis. Natalie, who I know is a huge Jodie fan, says, thinking back, I hate Tom Baker's first season. And I want to congratulate you, because that's probably the first time anyone has ever said that sentence. And for me, there's more to like about Jodie Whittaker's second season. I don't like the ever-popular Genesis of the Daleks. I don't like Harry, and just a lot of bad stories in season 12. It's not just because I like Jodie Whittaker better. I just like her second season better than Tom's first. That's just my opinion, which is fair. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I know Naomi loves Whittaker a lot. That's her favorite Doctor. And she's been watching the show since Classic Who. She started on Doctor Who like back in the 70s and 80s. Her and I have chatted back and forth a lot of times. I think she likes my channel because she can comment down here, and she knows I'm friendly, and that's cool. And I think everybody likes what they like. And, you know, if you like the Whittaker era, you like the Whittaker era. And if Tom Baker's not your doctor, then Tom Baker's not your doctor. Those might be in the minority opinions, but they're still valid opinions to the people who have them. And I think that's fair. Cody W1, who's a fellow YouTuber, says, LOL, what a dilemma, with a tongue sticking out emoji. And John Reed says, Season 24 Classic was better than Season 12 New Who. In fact, all New Who was better than Season 12 New Who. To which I commented, Season 12 is actually my favorite of Whittaker's run. I like it better than Series 11 and Flux, but that's just me. So the comments pretty much across the board, practically, also agreeing with the voting poll for Season 12 just trouncing Series 12 in the biggest lopsided victory we've seen in this series thus far. So, classic Doctor Who taking it with 97% of the vote. Modern Series Who getting 3% of the vote, somehow. And 1% saying it's a tie for a whopping 101% somehow. So, if you didn't get a chance to vote in this poll, go ahead and comment down below and let me know which one you prefer between Tom Baker's first season and Jodie Whittaker's second series. Other things to do, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. I certainly appreciate that. Steven's posting on the Patreon. I'll have to look at that. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. I am working my way towards trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal for 2023. And we're getting there. We're at about 980 as I record this, so we're slowly getting there. That's been my goal for a while. So if you're not subscribed and you enjoy the content, click that subscribe button. I also have a Patreon, which I just reached double digits on for the first time. I got my 10th patron a couple days ago. I was super excited about that. If you like my content and would like to support me there, that does help me keep the bills paid, especially these days. I would appreciate if you take a second and check that out. Several different tiers to look at. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support. As I do the support of all of my patrons, it does mean a lot. I have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. And a link to my Amazon wish list is there as well. And boy, that laughing at the beginning really took it out of me. That really took the wind out of my sails and my lungs. I've like struggled through the rest of the video. I don't need to start again. Most importantly, thank you for watching.